Welcome to News Beacon, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Good evening. Tonight, we turn our attention to a story that, while it may seem distant or abstract at first, is poised to send ripples across the globe, potentially reaching into our own lives sooner than we might expect. We begin with a scenario that could affect anyone, anywhere. Imagine you or a loved one needing a life-saving medical procedure, only to discover that the most advanced tools and devices are suddenly out of reach. This unsettling possibility is becoming reality in China, where a sweeping and unexpected ban on European Union medical devices has just been announced, sending shockwaves through the healthcare industry. The ban is not a minor regulatory tweak or a temporary measure. It's a bold, sweeping move that effectively closes off one of the world's largest and fastest-growing healthcare markets to some of the most advanced medical suppliers. This is far more than a simple trade dispute. It's a powerful statement, one that could reshape the landscape of international commerce and healthcare for years to come. The implications are staggering. Boardrooms in Berlin are urgently reassessing their strategies, while hospitals in Shanghai are left scrambling to adapt. Governments from Washington to Brussels are watching closely, aware that the consequences could be global. Framed as a national security measure, the ban feels like a high-stakes chess move in a tense game between economic superpowers, with each side weighing its next step carefully. The ban's reach is vast, touching everything from cutting-edge surgical robots to the smallest MRI components, and even the basic devices that keep hospitals running smoothly. This sudden disruption raises urgent questions about the stability and resilience of global supply chains, especially in critical sectors like healthcare, where delays and shortages can have life or death consequences. Across Europe, the reaction has been one of shock and disbelief. Executives are holding emergency meetings, trying to assess the damage and chart a path forward in the face of a move that threatens decades of investment and cooperation. But this story isn't just about money or market share. At its core, it's about trust. Trust between nations and the rules that have governed international trade for generations. The world is watching closely, wondering whether this is an isolated incident or the opening salvo in a much larger trade war that could reshape the global order. For ordinary people in China, the consequences could be immediate. Longer wait times for treatment, and uncertainty about the quality and availability of medical care. Doctors may find themselves forced to use unfamiliar equipment, requiring new training and adjustment, potentially impacting patient outcomes. Meanwhile, in Europe, the threat of job losses looms large, as factories and suppliers face an uncertain future. The global healthcare landscape is entering uncharted territory, with both risks and opportunities ahead. What exactly does this sweeping ban cover, and what does it leave untouched? Let's break it down. The directive from Beijing is notably broad, casting a wide net over high-tech medical equipment that forms the backbone of modern healthcare. Specifically, it includes advanced diagnostic machines such as MRI machines, CT scanners, and PET scanners, many of which are produced by leading European companies like Siemens and Philips. These machines are absolutely essential for diagnosing life-threatening conditions, from cancer to neurological disorders, and their absence is forcing Chinese hospitals to urgently search for alternative solutions, both domestically and abroad. The ban also extends to cutting-edge surgical robotics and high-precision instruments, which are crucial for minimally invasive surgeries that reduce patient recovery times and improve outcomes. By targeting Europe's most sophisticated medical products, the ban threatens a major segment of European medical device exports, potentially disrupting established supply chains and business relationships. Therapeutic devices, including radiotherapy machines for cancer treatment and pacemakers for heart conditions, are also on the list. These represent the gold standard in medical care and are vital for treating complex diseases. The sheer breadth of the ban suggests it's a calculated, strategic move by Chinese policymakers, rather than a simple response to concerns about faulty or unsafe products. Interestingly, lower-tech supplies like syringes, bandages, and basic diagnostic tools are spared from the ban. This selective approach indicates a deliberate effort to reduce foreign dependency only in the most advanced, high-value sectors. By focusing the ban on high-value equipment, China is signaling its ambition and readiness to fill the gap with domestically produced alternatives, aiming to boost its own medical technology industry. Ultimately, this selective and targeted ban hints at a much larger geopolitical and economic strategy, with implications that could reshape the global medical device market for years to come. Why now? China's official reason is patient safety and data security, citing isolated device malfunctions. However, analysts see this as part of ongoing trade friction with the EU. Brussels has been assertive, investigating Chinese subsidies, which China views as unfair. This ban could be retaliation, showing Beijing can inflict economic pain too. It's a strategic move to gain leverage in future negotiations. China's long-term strategy, Made in China 2025, aims to lead in high-tech manufacturing. The ban creates a protected market for domestic companies, accelerating their growth. Geopolitically, it's part of a broader realignment, challenging the US-led order. By targeting Europe, China tests EU-US alliances, weighing economic interests against political ties. The economic impact on Europe is severe, sending shockwaves through boardrooms and financial centers across the continent. As news of the ban spreads, anxiety grows among business leaders and investors alike, who are now forced to confront an uncertain future. China has long been a crucial market for European medical technology companies, accounting for a significant share of their exports and revenue streams. The sudden loss of access to this vast market is a major blow, disrupting established supply chains and business models. Industry giants like Siemens and Philips are among the hardest hit, facing immediate and substantial revenue losses. Their stock prices have plummeted, reflecting investor fears about the long-term consequences for the sector. But the pain doesn't stop with the big corporations. Smaller firms that supply vital components to these industry leaders are also feeling the devastating ripples, as orders dry up and uncertainty mounts. The loss of the Chinese market could force many companies to cut production, lay off workers, or even face bankruptcy. Entire production lines may grind to a halt, leaving factories idle and communities at risk. This crisis threatens thousands of jobs across Europe, especially for highly skilled engineers, technicians, and assembly workers in the medical technology sector. The uncertainty is palpable on factory floors and in research labs. As layoffs loom, the impact extends beyond individual workers to entire communities that depend on these industries. Research and innovation may also suffer as funding dries up and projects are put on hold. The broader EU-China trade relationship is now under immense strain, with significant implications for the overall trade balance and future cooperation between the two economic powerhouses. In Brussels, policymakers face tough choices. Should they retaliate with tariffs and risk escalating the conflict, or pursue a diplomatic solution that might be seen as a sign of weakness? A full-blown trade war could ultimately harm European consumers, leading to higher prices and shortages of essential medical devices. On the other hand, diplomacy may offer a path forward, but it comes with its own set of challenges and compromises. European leaders are now in a difficult position, grappling with the potential for a prolonged economic downturn and the need to protect both jobs and industries. The ban has forced a difficult and urgent conversation about the future of EU-China trade relations, with the stakes higher than ever for both sides. The ban aims to boost China's domestic industry, but poses short-term challenges. Top-tier hospitals in cities like Beijing rely on European tech, with staff trained on these systems. Switching to domestic alternatives requires retraining, risking efficiency and safety. Delays in acquiring new equipment could lead to longer waiting lists and postponed treatments. Domestic manufacturers face pressure to fill the void, but can they match European quality? The policy risks isolating China's medical community, slowing innovation and global collaboration. The US watches with interest. The ban could open opportunities for American manufacturers. Companies like GE Healthcare might gain market share in China. However, China's goal to reduce foreign reliance applies to the US too. This ban warns all foreign companies, market access is unpredictable. It complicates US strategy, trying to unite allies against China's trade practices. The ban might push the EU closer to the US or lead to a more independent path. For American consumers, it highlights global supply chain fragility. Rising costs and device shortages could result from escalating trade wars. The ban's effects will spread globally, affecting medical trade and manufacturing. Countries like Japan and South Korea might see opportunities but face similar risks. Friendshoring could emerge, reorienting supply chains toward political allies. Developing nations may face higher costs and compatibility issues with medical devices. The move challenges international standards, complicating global trade. More countries creating unique standards could slow innovation and limit access. The ban could lead to a fragmented global healthcare system. Patients worldwide might face higher costs and reduced access to technology. The global economy may shift from efficiency to geopolitical trust and security. Beyond geopolitics, the human element is crucial. Millions of Chinese patients are affected. A man in Chengdu may lose access to a German pacemaker, facing delays and anxiety. A child with cancer might miss out on precise Swedish radiation therapy. Doctors face ethical dilemmas, using second-best equipment due to policy. Trust between patients and doctors could erode, impacting healthcare effectiveness. Health should not be a casualty of politics. Patients deserve the best treatments. The ban turns life-saving technology into a political bargaining chip. The true cost is in delayed diagnoses and compromised treatments. The future is uncertain. Diplomatic efforts will challenge the ban through the WTO. Europe must decide on retaliatory tariffs or diplomacy, with economic consequences. The global medical device industry faces a strategic shift, moving away from China. Companies will diversify supply chains, investing in other markets to reduce risk. In China, domestic manufacturers must prove they can compete globally. The government will support them, but success is crucial for technological independence. This ban reflects a changing world order, prioritizing national security over globalization. Healthcare is now on the front lines of geopolitical competition. Leaders must manage tensions without fracturing global systems. The world watches, hoping for a path that protects national interests and health rights.